Tụi mình đang ở Humble Observatory ở Houston, Texas. Mọi người đang xếp hàng để ngắm sao. Này bầu trời đầy sao luôn. Đây là khu vực ngắm sao ở Observatory. Hôm nay bầu trời đầy sao luôn. Ồ, đây có một cánh như này.
You might see the shadow on the planet's surface. You might not see it. And there's three other moons that are triangular in the planet.
Mình sẽ lên từng cấp độ 1.
The other ones is Callisto, and you have Europa.
And the center star in the sword right there is the Orion Nebula. So if you look at the Orion Nebula in any of the telescopes, that's what you were looking at. We also have a telescope looking at something called the Pleiades, which is up here.
Ooh.
It's like a miniature dipper, sort of.
Dipper?
Yeah, it's not a dipper, but it looks like one. So again, it's right there. And that's Jupiter. That's
Really? Jupiter? Wow.
So there's another asterism that Orion is part of. So Orion, this is Rigel, is one corner of the winter hexagon. So 6 sides, 6 stars. So it starts there, goes up here to Aldebaran and Taurus the bull, and you should be able to see a V shape there. That's the bull's face. Again, the Pleiades are there. And then if you go over here, this is Capella in the constellation Auriga, the Charioteer. It's a very big constellation. And then the next corner is Castor and Pollux. Those are the Gemini twins. Then you come down here to Procyon, which is the brightest star in Canis Minor, the little dog. Then the last star is Sirius. That's the brightest star in the nighttime sky.
That's what we mistaken for sometimes. Oh, it's Jupiter. But
Yeah, it's not bright enough. Jupiter is even brighter than that. And this constellation, that's his nose, and this is the back end of the dog down here, the triangle. So that's the dog. And then, of course, back up here to Rigel. Now, one of the neat things about let's try that again, Orion, is you can find the North Star using Orion. So if you start on Orion's belt, you go out past the head star and keep going. It's a long way. I'm going to have to stand up to do this. So you start on the belt, go out past the head star, and you keep going, way over to there. That's the North Star. Now, that's a long way. It's hard to go. It's not really a straight line, right? So it's hard to do. But that is the North Star, Polaris. It is the end of the tail of Ursa Minor, the little bear. And the constellation is hard to see because most of the stars are faint, but it curves down this way, and then there's a box here at the end. Curves back up to the North Star. There's an easier way to find it. Now, the best way to find it is the tail of the Big Dipper. But unfortunately, that's down there behind the trees. We can't use it. But if you look up high, and I got to find it again because every time I move, I lose it. There's an M-shaped constellation right here. It's actually Cassiopeia, the queen, and it's got a good triangle, and then I call it an ugly triangle. So if you use the good triangle, start at the back, come out close to the center, and you keep going, it'll also take you to the North Star. So where are you folks from?
Philippines.
The Philippines.
Vietnam.
So, Vietnam. Okay, same general part of the world.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. So you guys are much further south than we are. So from where you live, you may not be able to see the North Star. Are you below the equator?
Somewhere
Above? Okay, then you can see the North Star, but it'll be much closer to the horizon than it is for us here. But the same techniques work. So, do you have any questions?
No.
Anything else I could show you? Okay.
Because we don't know anything much about the stars. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And the other important thing, of course, is that's Jupiter right there. So that's Jupiter. Anybody who wonders. And that's the Pleiades that you also saw through the
thiệt
telescope.
đã luôn.
Okay, so let me go through this again.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so for those of you that just got here, or anyone who wants to hear it again, in astronomy there are 88 constellations.
Wow.
And astronomers use the constellations to be able to find stuff because every piece of the sky is in some constellation. So we look for things that we recognize, but there are other things that we use besides constellations that are called asterisms. And an asterism actually looks like what we say it is. So for example, if you look up here, there's 3 stars in a row. That is a belt. That's Orion's belt.
Yeah, true.
So this is the constellation Orion.
Yeah.
You know, his knees are down here. These are his shoulders. That's his head star. And hanging down from the belt is his sword. And the middle star in the sword right there is the Orion Nebula. So that's also in some of the telescopes.
Wow.
So we've got Orion, that's a constellation, but it's also part of the winter hexagon. And that's 6 constellations that make up a giant hexagon up there. So let's see if we can find it. So here's Rigel. The next one is up here. This is Aldebaran in Taurus the Bull. And that V-shaped star cluster is his face. Again, the Pleiades are right there. And then you go over here to Capella, which is in Auriga, the Charioteer. Big constellation, like that. And then we come down here, the next corner, this is Castor and Pollux. That's the Gemini twins. One of them goes down this way. The other one goes down this way. If we keep going, 2 more corners. This is Procyon in Canis Minor, the little dog. And that's the only other star in that constellation, so it's a little one. And if you go to the last one, this is the brightest star in the nighttime sky.
Venus?
Sirius. Venus is a planet. So Venus is the brightest object up there except for the sun and moon. But this is the brightest star at night.
Serious?
Sirius. And it's part of Canis Major, the big dog. The rest of the dog is down here. That's his nose. And then we go back to Roger. So now the neat thing about this is, I asked this question the last group. I don't think I asked it for you guys. Where are you guys from? Philippines? Thailand, okay. My geography is not going to be this good, but we'll try. Are you below the equator? South of the equator?
No.
Oh, thank you. Yours is better than mine. Both north, okay. So what I'm going to show you will be much closer to the horizon where you live, because you are further south than I am. But if you start in Orion, and you start on his belt, and you come out past the head star, so you go past the head star and keep going all the way over there. The thing above that